Okay, welcome back to lesson 2 of Tracy's Kenpo Karate. In this lesson we're going to cover locking arm and circling elbows. And on a side note, both of these techniques are in your next kata. They're both in short 3 and long 3. So you'll see them again in blue belt when you get to that rank. So let's bow in and get started. Okay, the first technique we're going to go over is called circling elbows. This is for a bear hug from behind, but your arms are free. I've seen this done pretty much the same way throughout the system, other than a slight change in where the foot goes. I've seen a lot of people when they step out. As I get there, I'll show it to you. We start with the bear hug from behind. And as we're going to do, we're going to step out into a low horse as we do with all of our grabs, which opens up the center line. And as we do this, we're going to use our elbows, where the name circling elbows come from, and we're going to drive them back as far as we can to loosen up those arms. Then from here, this is where I see some slight differences in the way it's taught. Is you're going to draw your foot to cat, your right hand's going to go in chamber, and your left hand is going to go in top. Some people call this a cup and saucer move. Just like this. Now from here, you got to try to imagine you got someone behind you. It's important at this point to make this technique work that your left leg crescent steps in and behind your opponent's leg. And you need to put it through their legs and buckle that knee so that they get off balance, which will further release the grab, because natural instinct is when you go down is to brace yourself. And that's the reaction we need to get. I see a lot of people that circle, but they don't buckle the knee. They just stop. They just get it behind the leg, they get it kind of close to the leg, but they never actually drive it through the leg. And that's what you need to do when you do this technique. So you drive the elbows back, draw to a cat stance, right hand in chamber, left hand on top, and you're going to circle back around. So basically you're just putting your foot right back where it was. And as you do so, that's going to buckle the opponent's knee. They're going to further release the grip. And as they do so, we're going to pivot to face 9 o'clock as we do an elbow to the chin, followed by a hammer fist to the upper body, and then a right hammer fist to the groin, ending up in a hard bow stance facing the 9 o'clock position. Okay, again, from a neutral stance, we're going to drop our body weight, go to a low horse, drive those elbows back. That'll start to loosen the grip up. But to make the technique work, you've got to bring your foot in and around and buckle that knee. So your knee should literally check their knee and buckle it. And as their knees buckles, they're going to release whatever's left of their grip to start bracing themselves. And you're going to throw an elbow to the chin, which will further throw them off balance. Follow through with a hammer fist to the upper body. It could be the face, the chest. It's really going to depend on how tall they are and how they react to the buckling and the feeling of falling backwards. And then your right hand is going to come up with a hammer fist to the groin as your left hand goes into chamber. Okay, again, drive the arms. Draw to a cat, set your hands up in chamber position, buckle their knee, and as you do this, your hands are going to come up, over, and go to a hard bow. You want to practice this until it's pretty much almost one smooth motion, not stopping and going. Okay? Once you get that momentum built up, you don't want to stop it and have to re-pick it up. You don't want to give them time to readjust their stance or to get their stability back. Again, drive, chamber, cat, buckle that knee, elbow the chin, hammer fist the upper body, and then hammer fist, whoops, lost my balance, hammer fist the groin as you pivot to 9 o'clock. Okay, again, drive, cat, buckle the knee, elbow, hammer fist, going to a hard bow stance facing the 9 o'clock when you're done. So when you do it from this angle, there again, drive, cat, put your foot right back where it came from, in and out, elbow, hammer fist the groin. Again, 1. Over here, put the foot right back into a horse stance, elbow the chin, hammer fist the upper body, pivot to hard bow, hammer fist the groin. And from here, drive, cat, slide in. This is a crescent step, just like you used in striking mace. This belt is pretty much this technique. Almost every other technique or so has this particular type of move, so you're going to really use a lot of different ways of using a crescent step. So drive those arms back as far as you can and as hard as you can to loosen up the grip. Draw to cat stance, right in chamber, left hand on top. Okay, in a cat stance. Circle in and around, making sure you buckle that knee. Elbow, come straight up and just elbow that chin as hard as you can. And as you bring in your hand into chamber, we're going to use that option to throw another strike of a hammer fist to the face or chest area, depending on where your opponent's at. Following through with a right hammer fist to the groin, facing 9 o'clock in a nice solid hard bow. And that's circling elbows. That's a fairly simple technique, but it's going to be the theme throughout this belt. You're going to see that move done in a dozen different ways with different techniques. Okay, one last time. Let me do it from the back so you can kind of see coming from that angle. Drive, cat, hand in chambers, circle, elbow up, hammer fist, and as you're throwing this hammer fist, this one's going to come around and hammer fist the groin. And that's circling elbows. And as I explained at the start of this lesson, you'll see this technique again when you do short 3 and then when you do long 3. In long 3, you're going to have to do it power side, weak side, so you might as well start practicing both ways. So when you do get to blue belt, which I'm sure you will, you'll already be ready for the power side, weak side, long 3 kata. Your next technique is locking arm. This is also another kata technique. It's also in short 3 and long 3. So there again, you'll need to learn this one both power side, weak side, so that you're ready for long 3 when you get there. We'll start from this angle. It's for a hammer lock from behind. Similar to passing the horizon is the way it starts. We're going to counter grab the arm, and we're going to step back, and we're going to elbow the face. But from here, this time, we're going to wrap the arm around theirs and break the elbow and go to a hard bow. A and B are pretty much the same technique. There's only a slight difference, and the difference is this hard bow, because you're going to be able to break or hyperextend that elbow. Then from here, we're going to step back with our right foot, and we're going to swing your opponent around. And as we swing them around, we're going to immediately come out and do a knee to the body and a hammer fist to the back. And this is what I would call a hot plate method. In other words, after this point here, when you go to step back, you want to get in and out as quick as you can. So you're just going to whip them around and immediately bounce right back out of it. You don't want to whip and hesitate because they're going to be coming too fast and they're going to be too close to you, and you really won't get the power in the strike and the hammer fist that you could. So again, hammer block from behind, elbow, wrap the arm around, go to a nice strong hard bow and break, almost like you're going to punch out. And you're going to lock that arm up. Then from here you're going to step back right into a reverse hard bow, whip them around, and immediately bounce out with a knee to the body and a hammer fist to the back. Okay, from this angle, grab, step back, elbow, wrap, break. Okay, you want to pop that arm, pop that into a hard bow, step back, reverse your hard bow. I tell students the best way to remember this is just punch down at the ground. Then immediately bounce back out, knee, hammer fist to the back. Okay, again, grab, elbow, break, swing them around, drive the knee, and hammer fist the back. Okay, one more time from here. Counter grab your opponent, step back, wrap, pivot, elbow, hammer fist. Okay, and that's locking arm A. B is identical. The only difference is with B is when you go to strike the face or even wrap the arm, their other hand's in the way. Now this could be because they got one hand on the shoulder and one on the arm. Maybe they've got both hands on your arm. But for whatever reason, you really can't get in to break that arm or get a good solid strike on the face. But we're not going to stop there. And that's what this technique is teaching you, is don't stop. Just keep going on to the next move until it works or until you change something. So grab, elbow. We can't break it, but we're going to lock that arm up anyway. Pivot around, punch, and knee. So the real difference is just very subtle. Instead of having a good strong break here, you're just going to do more of a wrap. So you're not going to have that punctuation at the end of the hard bow maneuver. So from here again, counter grab, elbow the face, wrap the arm, don't matter if that other arm's in the way. Pivot to hard bow, punch down to help swing them around further, immediately bounce out, right knee, right hammer fist to the back. Okay, again, from here, grab, elbow, wrap, pivot, drive down, immediately come out, knee, and hammer fist. Pretty simple techniques for the start of purple belt. So we got circling elbows, drive, cat, swing around, elbow, hammer fist, hard bow facing 9 o'clock. Locking arm, A, counter grab, elbow, break the arm, pivot them around, drive that knee into their body, hammer fist to the back. The B, we go to strike, arms in the way or it's restricted, lock the arm up anyway, doesn't matter, continue on, same maneuver, elbow, knee, hammer fist to the back. Okay, and those are your next two techniques for purple belt. Now in your last lesson you learned the first section of short 2. And in that section we did Chinese sword, power side, weak side. We did our salutation. We stepped in with Chinese sword, leaving the hand there, step forward, Chinese sword, weak side. Okay, that's where section 1 ended. Now, for section 2, from this position, this is also called the cat stance, caught it, because everything we do is going to go to a cat stance. So from here, we're going to draw to a left cat, right hand in chamber, left hand in top, just like we did in circling elbows a second ago. Then we're going to step out to 9 o'clock, and we're going to do what's called a Chinese L, which is a left vertical outward block, right punch. But they're in close together. They shouldn't be spread apart. They should be straight in line with your shoulders. Then the left hand goes in chamber, right hand goes on top. We draw to a right cat stance. Now we're going to step out to 3 o'clock, right vertical outward block, left punch. And that's where section 2 ends. So, the first two sections that you've learned, we got Chinese sword, 1, leaving the hand there in a check position. Then we're going to step forward, do Chinese sword, weak side, leaving that hand in a check position. Draw to a right cat stance. A left cat stance. Right hand in chamber, left hand on top. Step out to 9 o'clock as we face 12 and do a Chinese L, which is a left vertical outward block, a right punch close together. And then from here, we draw to a right cat stance, left hand in chamber, right hand on top, step out to the 3 o'clock position, right vertical outward block. At the same time, we throw a left punch. This is called Chinese L. Okay, one more time. So, Chinese sword, Chinese sword. After we've done our salutation, of course. Draw to a cat, Chinese L, draw to a cat, Chinese L. And that's section 1 and 2 of lesson 2. So practice that, then come back and go on to lesson 3. And in lesson 3 we'll show you the next section of short 2. Now, as always, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me. and I'll be happy to guide you with any of those questions or comments you may have. Until then, keep practicing.